So you guys know what it is. We back at it with a fellow friend of mine. I met him when I was attending school in Torrance, Pro Barber College, and now we here. We're doing our thing on Talk Yo Barber Shit, and I am pleased and I am honored to have this guy tune in with me and just have a general conversation about how we are going to maneuver in the times that we in now as barbers and capitalize on it and make way and help younger barbers, younger entrepreneurs like myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I do fashion, I do barbering, but at the end of the day, I'm I'm a creator and I like to create. And I feel like everybody that I've been having these conversations with are also creators. We're not going to label ourselves to one typical thing. We are everything. We are, at the end of the day, barbers are almost like therapists. We're people that are here to listen and give our advice at the same time. We're cutting your hair and shaping you up to the person that you want to be. So enough of me talking. I want to let the guy that we're having this honor of today with to let himself be known and talk your barber shit.
Well, first of all, just appreciate the love, man. Thank you so much. Uh, Real important, man, what you're doing. We have to communicate, man. We have to talk.
Yeah.
People have to know that there's someone on the other end of that phone or the screen for this. I'm over dating myself. And by the way, I'm going to be dating myself the whole entire thing. But yeah, yes, most definitely. And I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you so very much. And yeah, man, we have to come together. We have to. We have to, share. We have to, and it's just a simple rule. I mean, there's just plenty. There's plenty for everybody. There's plenty for everyone.
Say that again.
There's plenty, man. There's plenty to go around. People hold on to their whatever, like grudges, and man, if there's one way is kind of, you go the next way. That's all it is, man. We have to do it. So yes.
So tell us, how did you get started? Is it a family tradition, or are you the first to start this line of, I am the barber, I'm the hairstylist, I am the one that's going to create the magic for you today? How did you come across and decide this passion was yours?
Well, to answer that first part of the question, I didn't find out until much later, that my grandfather on my father's side, he was a freaking barber. I didn't even know, man. Did not know. I found out, man. Let me see. I'd say maybe 10 years ago or so. Through conversation, my sisters. I'm the youngest of my family, so, and they said, I knew you had it in you. I knew you had it. And had what? And this and that, blah blah. Because I would always tinker with clippers and scissors and whatnot. And I said, what are you talking about? And then, like I said, maybe more like 7-8 years ago. By the way, well, Grandpa blah blah. He had barbershops. He had like 5 or 6 of them. Then they started drinking, and I'm like, wait, what? Back up? It is a barbershop, So that was really interesting to me, But as far as that, man, it's just like, I guess partly accidental. I gotta say, man, like finding that niche, that passion, it kind of came to me. It found me. I didn't find it; it found me.
Yeah.
It just found me. It started actually out of necessity, kind of, sort of, because first I was like, what, I see how they do it, kind of, sort of, here and there when I go to get a haircut.
Yeah.
Bought myself a cheap pair of, clippers, and trimming up the sideburns, and I've always had fuzz on my face, so take care of that.
Yeah.
And then it's funny, I didn't even introduce a trimmer.
It was nice, like, man. You should be on the cover of GQ right now.
Oh man, thank you, man. Oh man, thank you. And so what happened is, and it just happened, man. It just took a life of its own. It just went and went. I'm like I like this. And as far as you said, how it came about or how I knew about it, basically, I just like straight lines. I draw, doodle, art. Hell, I even went I was at Santa Monica College, man. I took a couple courses. My major was at the time commercial art, graphic design, perspective, man, perspective drawings. Just lines.
Yeah.
And eventually, man, it just transferred over. And then some people, well, back in the day when I was a young man, you wouldn't admit to having those OCD. But man, I'm a proud member of that family, and that line has to be straight.
Yeah.
So that kind of translates, with the barbering, that has to be straight, and that has to be straight, and I got to go at it. So, needless to say, out of necessity, like I said, I had my first child and my first son. And wow. then, like when he was ready to get his first haircut, here comes Pops. I tortured that booger, man. Right then, I got my second son 4 years later. Oh man, I had enough. I by this time I've already incorporated scissors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And my eldest is 30, and my youngest is 25. So I'm just tell you how long I've been tinkering with the stuff, So and then so that's what happened, And I just and it's funny because I incorporated now some trimmers. I had never. I think I've been messing with clippers, but I'd have to say, with trimmers. And then what's funny is my neighbors and stuff in my family got wind of, oh, you cut hair? I'm like, well, I trim. Can you hook me up? I'm like, oh, man, yeah, sure. Yep. So I tortured tons of people, bro. I tortured tons of people. But, you have to learn. You got to start from start from scratch. And so that's just, and then it's funny because then it became the necessities kicked in because now I don't ever remember taking until my kids were adults taking them to the barbershop just as a treat and a shave and a haircut. But I did it and to this day I still do it. My eldest he lives in Oregon, and when he comes through he goes, Dad, hook it up. I got you, sit down, man. Boom. So that's just how it began pretty much.
I think as young men, we always fall in love with the concept of the idea of cutting your own hair or
yep.
Or
yep.
Having that moment, which especially like you said, you're being a father and cutting your kids' hair. I still remember the day when my dad used to cut my hair. My dad used to do a pretty good job, and after a while, he got so overwhelmed with work, so he couldn't cut my hair as much as he did when I was younger. And then he took me to a barber. My first, besides my dad, was a lady barber.
Okay.
And she was awesome. And then after that, I was just in school, and I was like, I took on it myself. I'm like, man, I'm gonna take my dad's tools, and I'm just gonna start practicing my hair. Back then, it was so many different designs, lines, how to angle the top hair and all this stuff like that.
Exactly.
I was like, man, I don't know. I don't have the money, especially at that time, because that's when allowance started kicking in. Like, you want them cuts, you better start. So I was like, man, shoot, I don't really want to do all this manual labor. So I'm just going to try to just learn how to cut my own hair.
Yeah.
But like you said, for me, honestly, I took on that same passion a little bit later in my life as well. Also, I always was into, like you said, designing, and I always was fascinated about clothing. I always wanted, especially at that time, I couldn't really get a lot of clothes that I wanted to get when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to create my own brand and have everybody wearing my own clothes, and I'm going to wear my own clothes. So
that's cool.
That was what got me into Santa Monica at one point. And then I went to Trade Tech. And I know Trade Tech had a big facility for cosmetology and barbering.
Yep.
But I still didn't catch on. And then a lot of friends of mine would ask me to cut their hair. I wouldn't say I was great, but, they was pleased with it. And then later on, a couple other people was like, you ever thought about, going to school and getting your barbering? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to be a fashion designer. So I did whatever I wanted to do as far as the fashion side. And then that moment came again. Somebody was like, hey, I know someone that works in on film. They're looking for more barbers. You ever thought about being a barber? I see you cut your hair. It looks nice. Have you ever cut anybody's other, friends or whoever, as far as cutting their hair? I was like, yeah. They was like, man, just go back to school and once you're done, we can, see what we can do. So it's funny how you could be running away or not running away from something, but you could have that opportunity where somebody might try to pull you in that direction, but
Right,
you
right,
ready, and
right.
then later on it comes back again. Like, okay, and then you be like, damn, I heard this before. Maybe it's
It's funny. Yeah, it's crazy how similar my story is too. And that reminds me, because I said, you know what? After, because let me see, I said I took interest after I was cutting my own hair. Then when let me see, that was about, yeah, I was cutting my hair. I was in high school. Yeah, okay, I was about like 17, 18 when I dared grab the clippers. I remember one time I went a little too short on the sides. Oh man, mom had a fit, man. Mom had a fit. She like, what did you do? I'm like, nothing, nothing, nothing. I was, and it's funny because I really didn't wear products, so
yeah.
I had big hair and stuff, and so I was like constantly putting water in my hair, constantly trying to lay it down, So anyway, so there was a mess. So then I went at Santa Monica. I was working at the time too, but I went and I actually tried to get into the cosmetology classes there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was full, blah, blah. And I go to talk to whoever, hey, I want to get in that class. Well, and they had this thing back in the day. I'm telling you, I'm dating myself. I don't know if they still do this, obviously. But so they said, well, you know what? Um, for some reason, classes, when they're full, if you go in their classroom and you just stand up,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually if somebody doesn't show up the next couple of days, you could take that seat.
Correct.
I don't know if that's
Same
still.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was, man. I sat in there, man. I was like, I stood up in the back. I was listening, and I said, this is weird, because it just felt, it was cool, but it didn't feel. How can I say? It felt forced, if I could use that word. And then so people ask you, okay, who cuts hair, blah blah, and that whatever, blah. We're going to talk about this and that, and textures and colors and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And then the book, I kind of like, told this young lady, I said, hey, can I like, see some notes, with you or share? And she was cool. I try to, I suck. I had no game really, the truth, but
Yeah.
she was nice and she shared, and we were sharing that book for a minute. Finally got a seat.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came down to like getting equipment, that's when I had to, break the piggy bank because, try to get some, And I said, what? I need scissors? Like, what is this? So I need scissors. And so at the end of the day, they were trying to make me, it felt forced.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what? And then about a few months later, I became a dad. So I'm like, okay, well, school's going, school's out. I got to go hustle.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. And that's how that whole transition happened. And it's funny because like after this started going on and this and that, it's like it was just like meant to be. I mean, it was I get a phone call from like a relative or something. Hey man, you still got your scissors? I go, yeah. You go, hey man, can you cut my hair? Because I remember you kind of did, I like the way you left it. And this, I'm like, really? Like, really? And like I said, it's that OCD. I got to get those lines right, So my kids were adults now. My oldest moved out, and I just picked up some, And then I started like getting online when it was fresh and early several years ago, and I'm like, man, these machines are like robots, and they're shiny, and and then also Babyliss. What the hell is Babyliss? So anyway, I that's what happened, and finally. Tinkering around, I bought a new set of seniors. I think I was some quarter seniors, and I said, I go, the power behind it. And I was like, man, like these are tools. These are real tools.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, man. It's kind of gave me that little itch again, that bug. And I'm like, oh, I missed this, because I put it down, I put it down for a long time.
Yeah.
I was a couple of jobs. I was hustling, trying to do this and that, making sure home and everybody's taken care of. So yeah, so that's what happened, man. It just came back around. And I said, then when I was rubbing elbows with a few friends of mine that are barbers, you know, and we'd always, you know, shoot the shit, you know, like, hey man, you know, talking crap in the, you know, barbershop talk, you know, and I would criticize a little bit, and then one of them said, "What you know about this?" I go, "Hey, bro, I could show you a thing or two," which I was lying, but you know, I wasn't lying. I was, you know, I was, you know, he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "Oh yeah, come on, man." For real. I go, "Yeah, man, I'll show you a thing or two." And he goes, "Don't," you know. So anyway, talking crap, going back and forth.
Yeah.
I found myself like I didn't even need a haircut, and I was in the barbershop. I'm like, "Well, what's up with this?" You know. And so I hang out, you know. So we became friends, and then uh, two of the guys for their barbershop, they opened up their own barbershop, you know, down the line in Santa Monica. And I'm like, man, this is cool. And I'd be in there, you know, supporting them, you know, because, you know, we're friends now. So I'm trying to, you know, I got your back, you know, what you need, you know. If you need, hey, we're going to get some chair. Hey, if you need some help, I, you know, help you pick them up. And it's funny. And it's just like, it just wouldn't go away. So it just would never go away. And that's what happened, you know. And it's a trip because it's funny because those guys kind of sparked that interest. Say, hey man, he goes, you want to cut in here? And I go, well, I'm rusty, man. I just so they kind of gave me like like a little apprentice opportunity. So you know, kind of, you know, so and they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, because when I was cutting hair at the beginning, we wanted just a taper and not even bald. It was just taper. And it was just a cleanup. And the ball fade and all, and I'm like, the ball fade, the medium, the high, the low, and the tapers. I'm like, okay, I really gotta brushing up in my skills. But that's what I said, you know. Again, it just kept me going, and then so when and they kept bugging me, hey man, why don't you just get your license? I'm like, man, not right now, you know, not right now. Tomorrow. They bugged me for about like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, about 3 or 4 years. And then one day I walk in the shop. I said, hey, fella, you know what? Just make sure my chair is by the window. He goes, why? I go, because I just enrolled in, you know, barber college. He's like, what? I go, yeah, this old man just wrote. They're like, nah, I don't believe you. Don't believe you. Don't believe you. We don't believe you. Come on, maybe say that. So I did, you know, did the dance and, you know, got my
DFA.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the story about that, man, you know.
Which is an awesome story. And, man. I think you hinted on it a little bit, but I still want to kind of like turn that corner and then see if we can have that discussion again. That what if moment. So what's that what if moment when you had your kids, when you kind of decided like maybe I should pull back from the whole barber world and transition?
Exactly. What if see, because what happened is again, I have my circumstances are much different from your up and coming barbers and whatnot because I had to, you know, I was supporting a family. So for me to have to like go into that, you know, into that sector, I would have to probably give up one of my gigs, you know, and that, you know, hey, I got a mortgage, man. I can't do that, you know. So that's the what if, you know, that's the what if, you know, but if I were to take this, what would lead me? So it was just, I didn't even, it was a what if, but it was like, I can't, you know, not right now, I can't. And then later on, my kid's mom and, you know, they did their own thing. She did her own thing, took off. We did the whole thing. We got it, you know, taken care of.
Yeah.
And after that was taken care of, you know, done correctly, that's when I was like, kind of like in my mind, you know, like, you know, man, but like that whole thing, like you said, what if I fail? That question did pop into my head, you know, what if I fail? And, you know, was this the path? Was this what I was supposed to, the path I'm supposed to take? Is it? I don't know. So at that time, I'm still hustling. I'm still getting my grind on. I have 2 jobs, 2.5 jobs, you know, I'm still trying to do what I got to do. And so that's why at the end, I figured like, you know, I just think that my situation is different. So I kind of just waited it out. You know what I'm saying? I just like it. If I'm meant to go there, it's going to happen. That's how it happened with me.
Okay. I would like to say that your your experience and your livelihood of taking care of your responsibility and then still not giving up on something that you love is truly amazing. And I'll definitely want to make sure that's highlighted in this conversation that never be afraid to take care of your responsibility, but never be afraid to go back to something that you might feel that is a part of your life as well and never give up on it.
Yeah,
So,
it's important. Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. Um, my next question is, besides focus on being a barber, what other key ways are you creating income within your field?
Okay, that's where kind of where my situation can be very, very different from your average barber
Yeah.
because um, right now, as we speak, my primary is not the barbering game.
Okay.
It's not my primary. It's my it's well, it's my profession, and it's the prelude to my profession after I retired. I still have my 9 to 5, man. So I still got to do my I'm doing my thing. I have I don't know, under 2 years, maybe even less, year and a half, and I'm just I can't. And it's funny. I can't even talk about it because I am so ready to retire, man. From
Yeah.
99, I'm like, uh, you know what? And I will not speak ill about my, because I love the population. I work. It's just I work for LAUSD, and I love the students. I
Okay.
love the students. They're awesome. Personnel.
Mhm.
I have close friends actually that I've made throughout my career with LAUSD, and but the thing is that the politics, man, oh, man,
Yeah.
the politics, brother, the politics, and it's sad, it's a sad thing.
Yeah.
So with that said, that's enough. I'm gonna harp on that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get
But
it.
I am making some supplement income with cutting hair. I do have some clientele and continue building my clientele for my home studio.
Okay.
Um, I have actually built some clientele because it's been over a year, maybe a year and a half that I've been working at the barbershop. So I have some steadies over there too. So it's looking promising. So I'm really happy about that. Now, as far as making income outside of it or with it,
Mhm.
I mean, I have like right now, again, the main focus is just barbering.
Yeah, yeah.
Main focus is barbering. Um, my main focus is to take my crafts and my services to newer heights, man.
Yep.
Because I'm checking you out too, man. I want to commend you because I know a bunch of men around my age, man, that don't take care of their face, don't take care of their hair. I mean, I take care of their hair, but
Yeah.
then but then all of a sudden, like a month, like, hey man, can you help me? Dude, I told you, man, you got at least 15, 18 days. You can't 45 days later you want your hair,
Yeah.
so there are people out there that need that assistance, and I'm glad you're out there, doing your job because yeah, a lot of men, man, a lot of men, not too many women, but a lot of men, they need some help. They need some
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So I feel you with that. And so my thing, I would eventually, I'd like to dabble in the hair grooming product. Mainly beard and a little bit of skin
no.
and hair. Yeah.
Show that beard. Show that beard. Hey, I can see that right on a bottle or the little jar with that
Yeah, exactly.
face on it.
Exactly.
That beard, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and something like because we all have different textures of hair, different textures of facial hair. We have all different skin texture and skin conditions if you have one, or skin the dryness or whatever, the tones, everything. So it's not it's a lot of homework involved.
Yeah.
But I kind of would like to. I kind of would like to do that. Kind of You know,
Ain't no kind of you gonna make it happen.
I appreciate it, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And then to be true, it's on the back burner, man. You know,
Yeah.
I have a close childhood friend that he has online. You know, and I'm even considering, you know, doing a little partner or something. You know, maybe a little give and take. You know, his line is very successful, and I think I'd like to take part in that. You know, because I have the thing is though is there's not a lot of product for like silver, for you know, for aging hair, for aging people, for aging men. You know,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of product. You know,
Yeah, I feel like they just like give up on that part. Like once you read this, like once you get to a certain age, it's like okay, now it's like all they want to give you is just like dyeing the color back.
yeah,
So
exactly.
like your honestly, your color, the detail of the beard, the layer of the beard, and then the way it shines is amazing, and
Thank you.
people need to embrace that. Like you know,
I
yeah,
just I'm just so blessed that I love the silver and the gray. I'm all about that. I'm all about that life, man.
yeah,
It's funny because I am thank it because I'd be messed up. Can you imagine I'd be the dye and everything? Not me, man.
yeah.
And I'm over here. I'm like probably 80% gray and silver up there too. So it's all good, man. You know.
And layer, the way it's nicely shaded down to the sides, and then the
You know, I
comb
keep it.
over. Yeah,
Yeah, I keep, have to keep it. You know, really, you know, because I mean, it's almost like it's one of those things where my hair don't look decent. Like, hey, well, how can I give somebody tips? You know, to buy my chair. You know, hey
yeah,
man, how about your hair? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, but again, thank you again. I'd like to also dabble in product line for like the 50 and above. You know,
mm-hmm.
something light, very light, obviously washes right out. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
something that you could leave in there that's it multifunction. You know, like a leave-in conditioner. Pomade type gel or something to that nature. And I'm giving away too much of my, you know.
Yeah. Keep them
Just keep a lookout.
keep them sauces to yourself right now.
Exactly. But that is if my other adventure in from derived from barbering. So
Yeah. No, that I mean that's cool. I do also have family and friends that work in the school district, so yeah, that's a I understand both sides of what you're saying, and
mhm.
but that is awesome to have. There's nothing wrong with having a 9 to 5 and still taking care of what you're passionate about on the side. Because I did that when I was working at my film company back in the day, working for a large film company. I don't want to mention their name because they kind of did me wrong towards the end. But yeah, I mean, they gave me plenty of years. I was with them for like 11 years, but at the 11 years I was working with them, I was building my fashion line. So I use the experience that I had working there to maneuver in the fashion business, and it helped me a lot. It developed me like it developed me to really learn the mindset of how to have my own business, how to maneuver within a business, and then create my passion at the same time. So I get it. Um, what advice would you give a new upcoming barber and a barber that might be deciding like in the same concept of you, that was like a family man, working a regular job but also has a passion within barbering and wants to start it? And how would you relay your trials and tribulations and say, hey, it's never too late?
basically that's the truth, you know, because I was guilty of like, man, it's too late in the game, too late in the game, too late in the game. And uh, you know, I promised myself a long time ago that I wouldn't cloud my thoughts. Let me rephrase that. Cloud my positive thinking or positive thoughts with just negative, reactive thinking. In other words, like for instance, like I remember that I was looking at taking some courses online a few years ago, And I was like, man, and so I did. I took a little bit of course, and it's like, man, I can't finish this because I have to get up, 5 o'clock in the morning, and so so sometimes you will run into that little wall. So, but as far as advice, advice, and that's just me, but advice, I have several factors that I go by. Like one of them is like, I think one that's important is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I mean, it can be challenging, and in on all aspects. One is don't be afraid of going forth, and one, don't be afraid to ask for help. Those are the two. They go hand in hand because sometimes you're like, oh no, no. Ask somebody.
Yeah.
The internet's right there, man. It's right. It's on your watch now. Not even on your phone. It's on your watch.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. The other one too is for the younger generation is be open minded. Be open for change. You know, you have to be. You don't know everything. You know, Google does not know everything, and Google has a bunch of answers. But see, it was something really funny. Like I remember my father told me once. He says, "You know what, son?" He says, if man invents like the biggest or most complex security system there is, you think there's somebody could break it?" And I go, "Well, I don't know." He goes, and he said, "Well, man built it, man could break it down." And I'm like, "Whoa, man, And that was, it was in Spanish, and it was bigger than that. And I gave you the short version.
Yeah.
But that's true. And then the other one goes with that is like with not being afraid to to embrace change is also shortcuts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, come on, go the extra mile. Like that old saying is, success. You can't take the elevator to success. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the stairs.
Right.
And it's just, it's plain and simple, and that's just what it is. Something else to tell the youth. Yeah, exactly. One thing I'd like to tell up and coming is you have to respect the industry. As far as like in many aspects. There's just like we spoke earlier. There's plenty for everybody. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? You like ever since I remember one time our barbershop many years ago got a pretty bad Yelp review, and then I said, man, don't worry about it because that's one out of many. And he says, yeah, but people. I go, yeah, but if you harp on that one thing, that's what happens. So it's like you're disrespecting yourself if you're giving that any power. So that's why I said you have to respect that industry. You got to respect it. You got to be truthful about it, and you got to give you give it 100. But that's just it. And another one too is that this one goes for like you, myself, and many people. Like we can't get sucked in the latest and the greatest. As far as tools are and tools concerned. I think they're cool. I just picked up, man, some.
I was just gonna ask you that. I was gonna be like, what tools are you using? Because I know everything I look up, especially now on IG,
Yeah.
it's a new tool coming out
Every week. All right. Okay. Is it cool to say the product name?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at the box right now. Man, I got the gamma ergos.
Okay.
Uh, Dude, those things they chop wood, man. They're nice.
Oh, okay.
So my clients with the thicker hair, if I need to get through it a little quicker, and when I don't want to use my detachable, my Osters, detachable blade, that one that's an adjustable, the Ergo, it's super light. It had to, it's I guess the ergonomics, that's what it's called. Ergo is kind of, helps you using your wrist action instead of your arm action. So there's a lot of little benefits to it. And it's, so that's a rotary, I think it's a rotary. Yeah, but it's powerful, very powerful. And, some of the younger guys in the shop, they're like, hey, Gonzo, check this out, man. You got to check this. I'm like, man, come on, man. Bro, you got to check this out. Look, and we cleaned it up. I ran 2 haircuts, and I'm like, okay, all right, you know what? I like this product. Not everything they show me I like, but that was my last purchase, And but now the other thing too, back to what I was saying as far as the not getting caught up in the latest and the greatest. As your skill set, improves, you will need to build, and pick up new tools. Like
Mhm.
for instance, uh, old school. I learned how to fade with detachable blades. People are afraid of those.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fine. That's fine because as long as you can, whatever path you take, whatever road you take, as long as you get you to that, the end, that goal, that's all that matters. And let me tell you, man, uh, I've had people like, how do you? It's just experience.
Yeah.
So as your skill set improves, your tools should help you get to that next level, and that's what I'm saying.
One of my mentors, he lives and dies with the attachable blade,
Yeah,
and he's like been really telling me like if you really want to get those cuts the way they look, like crisp, you need to develop your attachable blade skills. So I'm gonna purchase one. I think I'm gonna get myself one for Christmas.
there you go. And I think that was my first one.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
You deserve it. You need to bring, yeah, man, and take that next level is attainable. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? We can't be afraid. So that's But yeah, the detachable, man, the crispiness, the sharpness, the way that blade handles, man, man. Let me tell you, I'm all about the detachable blade, and they made it just that much more. How can I say? They made it that tool much more desirable when they made it cordless. Because I was rocking the old
Mhm.
sixes, and then I got the Oster Octanes. It's a pretty
Mhm.
penny, but
Yeah.
it's worth every. But it's worth every penny, man. Once you get in there, you'll see.
You'll
I don't
see
know.
the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, which leads me to the last. I do remember I had one last that I could maybe two, but to end the question, the last piece of advice, man, it's cliche, it's old school, it's from when we all began, but please trust the process. I can't say that enough, man. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Man, how many man? Oh man, no, don't give up. Trust the process. Learn from your mistakes, build. So that's basically all I'm gonna say.
Life is not perfect. No one's perfect. You just got to keep pushing at it, keep grinding, keep understanding that you just got to keep developing yourself. It's like learning how to walk. You're not gonna
Yeah,
just jump up and start walking or start running. You got to keep training yourself and mentally and physically. So if you got it and you want it, trust the process.
trust the process.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, One of my last question, but this will never be our last conversation because we're gonna keep doing this,
Yes, yes, please.
pushing this forward. Law of attraction, and how does that work in your realm of living?
I apply that in all aspects of my existence. You have to you have to speak to the universe, and you have to answer when it speaks to you. You have to you do that whole thing where you can make it manifest. I'm a firm believer. I'm a very, very firm believer. I was a little skeptical, man, at the beginning when I was younger. A young man, we all go through our. But from where I'm sitting right now, speaking to you, I have, it's implemented, and it's basically second nature now. I don't have to think about it, like, well, say good things, or say good, you could, if you wish it, you can. No, no, it just happens that way. I live that way. It's easier that way because I wish I could apply it to every single aspect, but I'm saying it's always there. Like it's always there, especially like when I do anything that has to do. I know that's gonna sound kind of crazy, but anything that has to do with like uh, money, purchases, uh, business, clients, or getting something done. And I do. I think I mean, it's funny because that I can do it. I can do it. State of mind was a little. It wasn't always there. It
Yeah.
really wasn't always there. You know. But I think also like I do believe if you could think it, it can happen. I
Yeah.
do believe that. I do believe.
Yeah.
I really do believe. I mean, it shows. Proof is there. You can do it. I mean, the other thing too is like being again. I have like a disadvantage, and I had an advantage when I entered this industry. My disadvantage was my eyes are nowhere near sharp as somebody out of high school. Nowhere near sharp. My hands aren't as steady as a young man's, or woman for that, matter. Um, standing up a couple hours, all of that, the whole thing.
I
I'm
got you.
overweight, the whole everything. But the thing about it is that the pros are like, I came in knowing that I'm going to do it.
Mhm.
I came in knowing that I can. I went in, feet first, like I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just like no, I went in. So that's so, and also the patience. I know there's a lot of young folk that aren't patient. Um, also, asking, talking, relating. The whole thing, man. And that's how you make it. That law of attraction. I could do this. I could do
And
it.
I feel like that should be the top of the list of a lot of these barbers, like tutorials.
Agree.
Communication is
Agree. Agree.
being patient, is being um, one with the people that you're cutting their hair. Like like you said, it's more of a like it's all about a money growth, money scheme thing. Like, okay, the faster I cut this hair, or if I make it look this fancy, the money will come. But
Right. Right.
if you build that relationship with someone, or that person that's sitting in your chair, and become more entwined of who they are, you don't know where that might take you. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
so I totally 100% agree on what you're saying, and I don't think that's I understand what you mean in the way that you were saying it, but I don't think it's no disadvantage. It just like um you're coming into your own of just finding another way to maneuver in.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
it's like Jordan. When
I
Jordan,
always,
yeah, when Jordan was dunking on everybody, then now he's just hitting everybody with a fadeaway, and that's what you're doing right now.
exactly. 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 That's just how. And it's funny because adaptation is a big part of it too, man. It is a big part. And you're right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, I appreciate that. It's not. We're not going to call it a disadvantage,
Yeah.
a handicap. No, it's like we're good. Yeah, but yeah, but I feel that the scales were tilted towards the positive, the pros. I would imagine if the other ones were cons, the pros, of course, that level-headed. I kept myself always, I looked forward.
Yeah.
I didn't look back. I said, you know what? We're going to make something happen. I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it's really the beauty of it all too. And having this conversation, being able to express that. It's funny because I really never expressed that. This is my first time saying it out loud. But I had that feeling in the back of my mind. It's like, this is pretty good, man. I'm in my 50s, man. It's pretty good. I mean, not bad for an old man. And so
Wise man.
appreciate you. Yeah, but yeah, that's what. Yeah, definitely you have to. If you could think it, you could. I mean, obviously. Also, you know what? With that though, is what you may not. People may not do as often or at all. Is I learned a long time ago to celebrate the little victories. The little victories,
I'm definitely bad at that.
See, like I'm gonna get no, just obviously, get, manifest the attainable goals, the little ones, get those in, because the thing about it, again, I'm using. See, I told you, dating myself. Dad's favorite was like, "Hey, Rome wasn't built in one day," and it's impossible,
Yeah.
Tons and tons, metric tons of cement and mortar and all, so that's what I'm saying. So the thing is that is that I remember I've had to this day, and I've been, in the game a minute. I could admit that. And I like it when sometimes like where I went a little higher than that, a little, I did some, is like, you tweak a little here and there. And so that's the beauty of it all too.
Yeah.
You gotta just to celebrate the little victories, just, don't be afraid to celebrate the little victory. And we are too hard on ourselves sometimes because we want to grab it all. Our arms aren't big enough, our heart maybe, but our arms aren't big enough. So just those little attainable goals, make them happen, and that you have to learn to celebrate those small victories.
And I'm definitely on that same road. I've been learning to do that, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And that would be another staple of a clip that I'm gonna definitely use. You've been really dropping some knowledge, sharing your experience, and this being upfront and truthful on this platform. You definitely talked that shit, and I just want to say thank you for allowing me to have this platform and you be a part of it. It means truly a lot to me. And like I said, this is not the end. We're going to keep doing this. So
most definitely.
Especially when you get your products going. I can't wait to sit down with you again.
That's cool, man.
So,
of course.
Like I said, I will be sharing this on multiple platforms. So if people want to reach out to you either for a cut or just advice or just to check out your Instagram and start following you or any of your social platforms, please let it be known. Share your information.
Verbally?
Yeah.
You could just find me MrGonzoTheBarber, all one word.
Okay.
On Instagram, and from there, if you need to go any further, you want to reach me, that's the best way to do it.
Okay. Cool.
And but that's just how it is, I do actually, because I have older clientele, mm-hmm. I will offer also an email. It's MrGonzoTheBarber @gmail.com. Because believe it or not, man, I got some guys like, man, it's just my fingers too. Come on, man, calm down. I got you. So when they're on the computer at work or whatever, they can reach me. Mm-hmm. And I don't have Instagram. Well, come on, man, get with it. But not everybody does. So
That's true. Yeah. But I'm gonna definitely put your information out there. I'm gonna put the email. So and I'm gonna keep rotating these clips and these videos. So yeah, we gonna let people know how to contact you, and if it's from email or Instagram, they will be reaching out.
Hey, welcome, man. We gotta do this together, man.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, if you, I learned a long time ago, especially working with children and with kids, at the school, is that if I could help just one, man. Yeah.
You done your job.
Done,
Yeah.
But obviously, you're not completely done, but you
want to get that full tribe, but if you can reach one,
that means at least it didn't fall on deaf ears. Exactly.
So I want to say thank you.
Hey, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for having me, man. Yeah. And good questions, man. You made my made those wheels in my head turn, man. It's good because I need to do that. I need to keep
I'm gonna keep you fresh. I'm gonna keep you on your toes. We gonna keep pushing this till the wheels fall off.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a great night, and
you do the same, man. Thank you so much.
We'll be talking soon. All right.
Take good care, man. Blessings.
Bye.